And I think if we can all be a little bit more curious about one another rather than judgmental and imposing our own belief systems and good or bad habits as we might perceive them, I think, again, we go back to that high growth environment.
It's fascinating, mate. You just got me thinking then about, like, when you said we don't manufacture it, but I reckon a little bit we can. Someone's got to manufacture it. And I think the first person you look to is yourself, because we talked earlier about, and the young kids put up their hands, they ask questions in primary school the whole time. Like, if you go out with my 7-year-old son, it's just question after question after question after question after question. And then in the end, you have to say, hey, mate, let's play the quiet game. You have to do that. But as we go in life, mate, we we ask less questions of everything. Like, when's the last time you asked your wife, what's her favorite dress, or why does she wear that? And, asking questions, you lose it. You lose everyday life. Like, when's the last time you asked the lady behind the grocery store counter, how is she? And what's her favorite part of the day so far? Most people don't do it. You just are going this default pattern where I'm buying my milk, I'm buying my bread, just leave me to it. When you're little, there's questions all the time, but you slowly lose that curiosity towards life. So I reckon a little bit of sometimes you have to just check yourself and make sure you're not in an unconscious state where you're just rolling through and being aware and being conscious about the person you're becoming, the leader or the coach you're becoming. Asking questions is a good way to do it from the start. Just how many questions are you asking every day of strangers or your best mates?
Yeah, it seems like it's a very childlike thing, and the importance of of bringing through that inner child. We all have the inner child in us, and there's a lot that we can learn from that, and trying to reignite that genuine curiosity and genuine asking questions of how the world works. Asking questions and questioning what's going on leads me to this. Have you changed your mind on anything recently? This is one of my favorite questions on the show.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I change my mind quite regularly, actually. Big things that I've changed my mind on. I make a point to acknowledge when I, particularly to my wife. My wife and me are polar ends of the spectrum around things, so I often change my mind on things with her. I think what would be the biggest one right now? The way we deal with our children have changed, from starting being a parent to now my oldest is 16. I thought for a period early in parenting that you had to be a certain sort of parent. Like a lot of coaches think you have to be a certain sort of coach. And I thought I had to be this little bit stricter, hard rules, or else they would go off the rails and become something that wasn't great. But I've changed my tune completely on this now, that I think the most important thing as a parent is just to be always there and show love to your kid all the time. I used to think that being gentle and caring and loving towards people would be seen as soft, and people would take shortcuts around that. But I've found in rugby and in childhood, the more care and love you give people, the more they listen to what you say and do when it comes to the important things. And I never thought that would be the case. I thought if I was always a loving, caring father, that when it came to like sneaking out at night, that they potentially would do those things more often because I was a soft touch. And I found the exact opposite. And I actually found the exact opposite in my coaching as well, when I keep a very even keel voice and I only rear it up when it really needs to land, like a strong, stern voice about behaviors and values that are broken, nothing else. And I thought early on in the coaching that the same thing, that I'd have to, if someone dropped the ball, I'd have to get angry with it because that's what coaches do. And that would stop people doing it again. But as I've gone on, I believe it does. People get indifferent when you do that. But when you don't do that very often, and when you do it about a behavior or value that's broken, then it really lands and you only have to do it once and it sticks a lot better. And that's probably been my biggest shift, just through experience, really, and testing, experimenting that stuff and being open enough to be reflective on it. So that'd be the biggest thing that I've changed, I suppose, or changed on.